Oh, spreading the internet connection is spreading the joy. One thing I think is interesting though, sharing a data connection from a phone versus buying products that all have their own LTE or 5G radios. In this current day of connected devices, what do you use on the go? Let's talk about tethering. If you're on 5G, LTE, Wi-Fi, or hooked up with the cable, you're not going to want to miss all the work being done here at reviews.org, so make sure you click those subscribe options underneath this video. And give us a look around the social medias. We've got some fun stuff coming up you're not going to want to miss. Okay, this is going to be a really loose companion piece to something Tshaka is working on, looking at mobile data connections and products like wireless hotspots. I am a phone nerd, and I always think it's interesting to see how many gadgets have been replaced by our phones. Cameras, music and media players, GPS. Increasingly, we reach for this first, and it's quickly replaced a whole collection of consumer electronics. Tethering is another use case for the phone as a brain, which facilitates working on other computers. Of course, tethering is when we use the data connection going to a phone and share that with other devices. It can work over a cable, Bluetooth, or Wi-Fi. Your phone becomes the modem. A quick flashback. It really wasn't that long ago that I was covering trade shows around the globe and working with my writers and editors to figure out our data strategy. Often we'd rely on some kind of hotspot and a local data plan that was usually outrageously expensive. And we'd combine that with a little hotel Wi-Fi or hook up a laptop in a press room. It was sometime back during the first Pixel days that I can remember packing a phone to accomplish that task instead of a hotspot. We threw in a Google Fi SIM. It was the easiest way to guarantee international LTE connectivity. We could turn that plan on and off only when we needed it, and it was our lifeline to make sure we always had some kind of connection. When you're producing videos and covering a trade show, if you can get your video finished and uploaded from the show floor, it makes your content a lot more timely. Over these last several years, however, I think it's interesting that tethering is still kind of a fluid perk offered from carriers. On this channel, we recently detailed the differences between Mint and US Mobile. For example, there are going to be different kinds of tethering from both of those MVNOs. Mint doesn't consider tethering different from your normal phone data if you have a cap on your data plan. So say you pay for 15 gigs a month, they don't care how you use that 15 gigs. However, I went for their unlimited plan, and that puts a 5 gigabyte monthly limit on my tethering, which if I'm working on the road and I need to support a laptop, that would be less than 2 video uploads at the quality I tend to produce. My whole monthly allowance, 2 videos. Actually, less than 2 videos. US Mobile, on the other hand, doesn't keep a monthly cap on tethering for their unlimited plans, but you do have to pay more per month for the privilege. And breaking down every other carrier plans and pricing, it seems every carrier has a different flavor of this as a feature. Why I think this is interesting today. I think there was an expectation from carriers that LTE-enabled devices were going to be more popular with consumers. You would just pay an extra $10 a month on your plan for each device, and then your watch, your tablet, your laptop, they would all have their own unique data connections. Which is what I kind of want to throw out here as the question for this video. How many data-enabled devices do you keep on your plan? Or do you more regularly piggyback other devices on your phone data? For my own use, as an example, because I'm super cheap, I just do increasingly more from my phone. I recently did a road trip to visit some family, and I didn't even bother packing a laptop. Instead, I used a laptop dock with my phone. Mint's monthly tethering did not affect me because it was all phone data. And honestly, even if I had used a laptop to edit my videos on the road, I suppose I could have transferred files back to my phone to upload from there too, because I'm hella cheap. So this kicked off a little behind the scenes conversation here with the reviews.org team, and it made me curious enough to throw the question out here. I can still understand the idea of having a dedicated hotspot, something that has its own battery, it doesn't tank your phone's power, maybe even a separate data plan to avoid additional costs. I totally get that, but do you think the phone has eclipsed the idea of using a standalone product? What is your mobile data strategy, and how many devices do you keep active on your plan? Let's get into some nerdy conversation down below this video. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing and subscribing to this channel. Definitely keep up with the whole team here. And on the reviews.org site, we've got some fun streams and contests coming up. It's good times. You're not gonna wanna miss it. For reviews.org, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, AKA Some Gadget Guy, and I'll catch you all on the next video.